moving on to France. France has rejected U.S. President Donald Trump's offer to join his proposed board of peace for Gaza, citing serious concerns over its powers and impact on the United Nations framework. President Emmanuel Macron's office has said that the board charter goes beyond Gaza and could undermine UN principles. French Foreign Minister Jean-Noël Barrot has warned the chairman would hold a sweeping authority, including veto powers and control over membership. Trump has threatened a 200% tariff on French wines and champagnes, claiming it would force France to join. Trump has also confirmed Russian President Vladimir Putin has been invited, with the Kremlin saying it is reviewing the proposal. Let's listen into what Trump has shared.
Response to President Macron saying he will not join the board of peace?
Oh, did he say that? Well, nobody wants him because he's going to be out of office very soon. So, that's all right. What I'll do is, if they feel like Costo, I'll put a 200% tariff on his wines and champagnes, and he'll join. But he doesn't have to join. If he said that, you're probably giving it to me a little bit differently. But if he actually did say that, but as you know, he's going to be out of office in a few.
Now for this discussion, we welcome back Mr. Baum. He joins us live from London. Thank you very much, Mr. Baum, for joining us and staying with us. Now, looking at this, why do you think has driven France to reject this participation in the Board of Peace? And how could President Trump's threat of stiff tariffs once again be effective?
Yeah. It's very interesting that the reason that Macron gave for not joining the Board of Peace was because, and I quote, it may be undermining UN principles. The fact that France have been undermining UN principles in in Africa, for example, for decades, he seems to have forgotten. No, the French rejection is clearly a snub to Trump because of what Trump is doing in Greenland. Trump is correct that if there were a general election now in France, Macron would probably not be voted in. And I guess Macron sees his strong opposition to Trump as appealing to the domestic base in France, which is split on Trump, but probably veers towards an anti-Trump view. So there are a number of reasons that Macron has done this, but it really is for the domestic audience rather than for the greater good, which is to ensure that peace continues in Gaza. Now, Trump is right that he could impose huge tariffs on French exports, and mainly their wines and champagne, and that would be very damaging to the French economy. So again, I think in the heat of the moment, things are said. I don't think Macron is being politically astute in this, and I'm sure at some stage, with or without France, there will be sufficient support for the Gaza peace plan from other nations that will not need any French troops there, nor it matters not whether France supports the initiative or doesn't support the initiative. It will continue to proceed, maybe with not as much support as Trump would have liked, but nevertheless it will continue to proceed. I gather some other nations, such as Pakistan, may even be involved in putting troops into the area, which would be very interesting given Pakistan's anti-Israeli politics over the last 3 decades, and being a Muslim nation too. Yes. But nevertheless, the French rejection clearly is a snub to Trump because of what he's doing in Greenland.
And Mr. Baum, what about Russia? If Russia does join, how do you think that would look like?
Yeah, this is very interesting because what Trump would like more than anything is to stop the Russian-Ukrainian conflict. And by reaching out to Putin to join this peace plan, and bearing in mind how much influence Russia has lost in the area with the overthrow of the Assad regime, for example, and possibly the overthrow of the Iranian regime. We're yet to see how that plays out. That would give Russia a foothold, albeit a small foothold, to gain some kind of influence in the region. So I think politically it's an interesting move on behalf of Trump, and it will. And from what I understand, Russia to date have not rejected the idea. So that's on hold, and we'll wait and see. But I think it's a very smart move by Trump politically, and it would be very interesting to see how Putin reacts to it.
With that, I would like to thank Mr. Peter